How do you explain
Yeah,
that?
and
What in America suddenly
yeah.
became tyrant loving? I mean, what was going on here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you and I would ever have anticipated this when we came, right? We talked about how intoxicated we were with America, the freedom, the opportunity. In part, that's one of the reasons I wanted to write the book, to sort of explain the phenomenon of, that sort of dislocation, that post-industrial blight, the grievances that emerge out of that. Then the Great Recession, the rapid demographic change, things changing so quickly that people really kind of say, stop, I want to get off.
Right.
That's the kind of sort of feeling that people had. So someone like, as you wrote, in your essay, why America's ripe for tyranny, it was ripe for this moment. And Donald Trump was the perfect person for it in many respects, because everybody thought they knew him from reality TV.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember seeing him in, and I still get a jolt when, Christmas, you watch Home Alone 2, again, there he is, walking through, the Park Plaza, and, kind of, he's still there giving the directions. And it's because everybody knew him and everybody had this kind of feeling about him. People thought he was actually a very successful businessman from the settings of The Apprentice. I mean, he had a whole revival through reality TV. He was amusing. He's charismatic. He has this lifestyle. When I was growing up in the UK, you probably watched this as well. There was Clive Cook and the Lives of the Rich and Famous.
Oh, God, yes.
And, that was, everybody watched that in some respects, thinking of that life that somehow if they won the lottery or, something else happened, that could be their life. And that's what basically Trump's selling. Putin's selling a lifestyle as well, honestly, with the rumors of it, which he sometimes, spreads himself, but some of the facts, obviously, about his relationship with the absolutely beautiful, much younger rhythmic gymnast, the palaces, the yachts, this is it's a sort of an aspirational lifestyle that most people will never have, but in a way the everyman is selling it to them. Trump's basically saying, you too can have a gold-plated toilet, and if you kind of, basically leave it to me, I'll make sure that, you have that kind of lifestyle. I'll be your champion. I'll be out there. I'm going to kind of, whack the guys, who have been denying you your place, the people who aren't listening to you, the elites who are making fun of you. And that's very appealing for a lot of people. It's the big middle finger. It's the let's blow everything up together phenomenon, as well as then, for the Republican Party, which he essentially hijacks. There are 17 candidates in those primaries, right? Was it 17?
Something
and he's
crazy
the
like
last
it.
man. Everybody knocks themselves out. And he's the one who's standing, and because he's brutal and he's ruthless, and he just, kind of brings them all down, uses his reality TV skills. And
but he also told some
skills.
pretty brutal truths that the Republicans had not said to themselves. So, for example, that
Exactly.
moment in the debate. Yeah, the moment in the debate where Jeb says, "My brother kept us safe," and Trump said, "No, he didn't." He presided over 9/11, then he fucked up the war. Yeah. And you could almost hear every Republican in the audience who had labored under this delusion and still had to kind of defend it, feel relief. Oh, fuck, we don't have to defend that anymore. And the notion of this sort of scion of an elite family, Jeb, trying to perpetuate the rule of his own family into further incompetence drove them crazy. I understand it. I totally got it. I could see why you would feel that way. I still think you should be grown up and say, still not voting for him. But I understood. What I found really disturbing is that if you think
it's a charismatic personality element as well, though, right?
Yes.
And I mean, I think that fits into, I mean, I know you're going to say about what you find disturbing, but that also fits into that, kind of theme. We're thinking about the decadence of Rome. I mean, that was kind of what you were alluding to in your essay about, why America's ripe for tyranny. I know I keep talking about that. So I just hope that if people haven't read it, they should go out and read that again, because it is that kind of, people giving fealty to a certain kind of leadership in that kind of moment, basically because there isn't anything else. And people have lost their sense of agency, different forms of government, representation of government, and people's affiliation and affinity with their representatives is broken down. So you end up with the champion. And if you've got a particular charismatic personality who can manipulate people and people devolve their power from them, that's exactly who gets a grip.
Yeah, it was, for me, if having learned America, really, having gotten here and really studied and thought about its ethos and its underlying principles. And for me, it was all about self-government. It was about governing yourself first. And the whole point of America was we're not having a tyrant telling us everything. We're not going to let that person over there dictate. And over 250 years, they're suddenly like, yes, we forget the self-government thing. We want somebody to do it all for us. A very alien sense in America, at least to
that's
me.
in the book, the theme is that is kind of the trajectory we're on from the 1980s, and ultimately, I think Trump is the culmination of that, because it's the hyper individualization.